Salford at home this weekend. What's your thoughts ahead of that game?
Very tough game. Team that's in fantastic form at the minute. Had the new gaffer. Very fortunate against Forest Green in the game they played a few weeks ago. But apart from that, I think they battered Crawley, dealt with Wrexham very well. Actually beat Wrexham at their own game, which is a tough thing to do. But obviously, when you got Big Smith up front, he's tough to deal with.
Looking at our preparations for this week, how do you think they've gone so far?
Yeah, very well. Obviously, we've got a lot of boys still on managed minutes, so it's a tough one to juggle with Saturday, Tuesday with the new lads who have come in. It's it's going to be. We'll probably have two different kind of sides, Saturday to Tuesday, which is not fantastic, but it's a good position to be in going forward. Within the next 3 to 4 weeks, we should have a proper team out in the field where everybody can participate in 90 minutes.
Two contrasting results in Bradford and Newport. So how do you assess in terms of the performance and everything so far in your reign?
Bradford performance level maybe 75 minutes, very good, solid when we ran out of steam a bit. Newport, very, very good. 45 minutes, should be 4 or 5 up. Second half, we score, which is probably the worst thing we could have done. Flipped into bad habits for 15-20 minutes. Then fortunately we flipped back over and should score 1 or 2 at the end. But listen, that's football. Sometimes you don't get what you should, and unfortunately we didn't. But no excuse for me. It is what it is.
Sorry, Shea's gone on loan to Solheim. What was the thinking behind that move?
Just with the attackers we brought in, I think Therese would have had minimal game time. So I didn't want to stagnate his career and feed him false promises of like he's going to play when he isn't. So that was simple.
Looking at player availability, where are we with injuries and everything like that?
Tariq got injured again in training, so I'm not sure how he's looking. Tom Clayton's had a rescan, so we'll see where we're at with that one. Reece Devine, good, hopefully back in the next 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully. Other than that, looking good.
Obviously they've got the presence of Matt Smith up front, but how important is it we focus on ourselves and look to get back to winning ways at home this weekend?
100%. I mean, they're going to be direct if we're not aggressive in dealing with that situation and tracking runners. We know what's coming. We've given the detail. We've had meetings. We've touched on it in the training. Everybody knows their job and where they go. And it's up to us now. We just got to implement that and worry about ourselves more. Like if it is what it is. Like their set players are going to be massive, but Mildy spends hours tracking all this defensive set players. He knows what he's doing. He's very, very good at them.
Obviously, you mentioned, of course, we had players coming in on deadline day and they're starting to settle at Newport. So how do you feel they've settled in and had those new players adjusted to life in Swindon?
Very well. I think some fantastic ability-wise, brilliant. Like obviously they're all attackers, aren't they? We haven't brought any defenders or midfielders in. They give us such a different dynamic, every one of them. That's the thing. The good thing is we've brought players in who are good at different things, so our front 3/4 dynamic can change all the time, which is a good headache to have. But at the minute, obviously, some of the boys aren't fully fit. They're just getting minutes, so got to manage them.
Of course, you mentioned simplifying things and getting back to basics and making sure they're done right. How important has that been so far in your 2 weeks of training with the lads?
Yeah, I think, listen, we won't reap the rewards of that for about probably another 3 or 4 weeks, unfortunately, and we need results now, because if we want to get in around the playoffs or as high as we can in the league, that's what we have to do. You got to win games. You got tough fixtures coming up, but winnable games. Every game in League 2 is a winnable game.
How excited are you to be back at home in front of the home crowd and everything like that?
Yeah, massive. I think obviously the fans will get right behind us here. We'll have hopefully a bit bigger crowd than we did last time. If not, we still get a decent support no matter what we get here. So it's a pleasure to be the interim head coach of this club.